at Astricon. As you can see, the lights are gone down on the exhibit hall. So we have with us John Todd of Digium. He's the community evangelist for all things Asterisk. So John, maybe you can tell us a little bit about what Digium is doing, announcing maybe at Astricon related to the open source community.
Sure. I think one of the biggest announcements that we've had today is the announcement of the Asterisk Marketplace, which Steve Sokol did this morning as part of the slightly modified keynote. And that is kind of the initiative for Digium to provide to our developer environment a method for them to basically sell modules and distribute modules into the open source, as well as other methods of delivery of both closed and open source software for people using Asterisk. So it's kind of like think of the most common metaphor these days is think of the App Store, the Apple iPhone App Store, but for Asterisk modules. So allowing people who are doing very small open source apps or closed source apps to distribute, to allow users to find, distribute, install, and then pay for and receive revenue if that's their model for their apps. So it's, I think, a big step forward for the open source community in that it allows people to, if they wish, to recognize revenue on their software as well as get a better distribution model.
So wait, how does a company say, we are Voiceroute, right? So we do the Druid project and we have a commercial edition. So how do we plug in, say, at our level, if we can even?
The scope of the project is yet to be completely described, but we expect that people like Druid or kind of all-encompassing wrappers around Asterisk will actually be able to be installed, depending on how complex your installation package is. If you've got some kind of a Yum repository or other type of distribution method, it might be possible to actually install your software all the way on top of someone's existing Asterisk platform if you have an exterior installation process that's available now. I can't say I'm familiar enough with how your install works, but if it's a bunch of software that you can lay on top of a system, of a Linux system, including Asterisk, then it may be possible to actually include your software as a distribution channel through the Asterisk Marketplace.
Fair enough, but how about, I would say licensing? Because different modules for us is a little bit more complicated. But for, say, a small guy who has a little software just to run on Asterisk, so how does he license? How does he sell? Or it's a flat fee kind of thing that goes through. And does Digium get a cut? And if so, how does that revenue model work? Maybe you can tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. Well, as we said, the details of this haven't been completely sorted out. So things like whether we're going to have the ability for people to do only flat rate or if it's going to be the ability to do license per port. Our licensing module supports a whole number of different configurations. But the licensing is possible in almost any way you want to slice it up. It's up to the developer of the software really on how they want to license it. We can, if it's a closed source system of some sort, we can distribute to them the Asterisk licensing module. But again, details of that haven't been completely worked out. We expect that most people will probably just charge flat rate, where they'll say, well, you get one download of the software and you can install it on your system, which probably will work for most developers. And then we actually expect that most people actually won't charge for their software. I mean, looking at the Asterisk ecosystem right now, it's open source. It's all open source well, not all open source. My world is all open source, but the people developing for Asterisk right now primarily are doing it in an open source way. But we want to allow them to find a better channel so that instead of having to distribute or have their code included in Asterisk, they want to be able to, as an example, if it's an add-on to Asterisk, which isn't right to include in the Asterisk source code itself, really there's no single repository right now for them to go to install that or to allow users to find and install that software. And we're really trying to become that kind of portal for all things Asterisk.
That's great. So just to end, can you tell us if I was a developer and I want to go through this marketplace, where is the URL? How do I sign up? Who do I contact? Maybe?
Sure. Those are the questions that everyone's been asking today, and unfortunately, we don't have a direct answer right now. We don't have the marketplace developed, and it's not ready for production. We're still in what I'll call pre-specification, or we're actually in specification mode, and we're hopefully going to have some answers for when and where those kind of information can be gathered within the next 30 days. We hopefully will have something to give to the